I'm Elisa Mortensen, and this is UndoRedo. Let's take a look at all the things that happen in life that we would like to undo and have a chance to redo. Hello. My life is so fun right now because it's Christmas time and everyone came home for Christmas this year. I can't even believe it. It blows my brain, all the little stupid things we can get involved in doing. And it doesn't even matter where we are. We have so much fun together and we can't wait till the next time we're together. So my heart is soaring right now. All right. There's a reminder. This is a reminder for you to get into the 45-day undo redo for its debut in this first part of 2024. This is the opportunity of a lifetime for at least a dozen of you because I want to keep the group small. It's easy to access financially because it will be half price for this debut. Have the undo redo of a lifetime, whatever area of your life you'd like to have it, wherever your biggest problem is, and bring me the worst you got. There isn't anything the undo redo can't solve. Ending conflict, getting rid of overwhelm, improving all of your relationships. Imagine learning this skill and taking it into the rest of your life once you know, or teaching others how once you kind of get a handle on it and understand it. Why wouldn't you invest effort into never repeating the same miserable conflicts, not having to carry anxiety and worry with you everywhere you go? This positions you, this undo redo program positions you to be a greater influence in the lives of those you love and to have a greater impact on your own life. Gosh, why wouldn't you? It's silly not to. Okay, now for the celebrate topic. You guys, no one is good at celebrating. In my mind, no one on earth celebrates enough because our minds are wired to find all the problems. We get so sucked into every little thing that has gone wrong or that could gone wrong, and we go down these little rabbit holes all the time. Even when we're doing our best or others are doing their best, we still find ways of pointing out how it could have been better. This is so sad. You guys, we diminish ourselves so often. We aren't receiving compliments. We're convinced that we aren't doing as well as others are. I want to talk about what happens when we have to have something look a certain way before we can celebrate it. I want to tell you why this hit me so hard. It's because, of course, I'm being coached and I can't see when it's me. I was telling my coach kind of a big long list of things that I wasn't getting done. And at any given time in my life, I have this long list. I was complaining about rarely, if ever, getting to all of it. And that I was falling short all the time and that I hadn't been able to get the things in my schedule under control enough to have it be the way that I wanted it to be. I was telling her it just wasn't possible to get it all done, and I have to do it all because no one else does. No one else can. It had to be done in this certain way that it's always been done. So this sounds ridiculous. I can laugh at myself now because of where my head was at the time. But basically, whatever way I went about my day, all I want is to simply be accomplished every day, just to be successful, just to have a successful day. And this was where my coach asked me why I was not letting myself be accomplished. And I sat there for a sec, and it just stumped my brain. Why was I not letting myself be accomplished? My brain tried to process this and I didn't actually speak for a while, and she held space for me. She just let my brain search for the answer. She was really nice. My mind was like, but I'm not done with my stuff, so I can't be accomplished. I should have done a better job. It's not accomplished if you did a crap job, or all that stuff that's still on my list falls into next week or tomorrow because I didn't get it done. How is that successful or accomplished? And then my last thought was, but I've dogged it. I dogged it bad. I had time to do it and I didn't use my time well. And I can't tell myself I'm accomplished when I'm obviously not. So upon thinking all these things, this question came into my head. Why do I feel the need to punish myself? It's like there's this finish line ahead of me and it's got accomplishment or success written on it, right? And every day I move it just out of my reach. I move it out of my own reach. And it's literally impossible for me to allow myself to get to accomplishment because I've moved the bar. I've like raised the bar on myself every day to the point that I'll never attain it. I actually diminish everything that I've done and everything that I'm doing as I'm doing it. My brain was like drawing parallels at this time. I had parallels between things in the past and things that weren't working for me and relationships that I have. And then it hit me. I have a false belief. And we talked this through. I found a false belief that if I could just do enough things and if I could just do them better and more effectively than the last time, then I could feel accomplished. Then I could feel successful. Then I could have like value as my worth. And this floored me. It was a transactional relationship with my own value that I had created. I made it up somewhere like a really long time ago. I was trying to be accomplished and successful, and I was doing all the things, but I never allowed myself to arrive. This part's funny to me because I literally cried and she just sat there and watched me. I cried because I was never planning on allowing myself to feel accomplished. That part of me that was holding out on myself, why would I do that to myself? And I just let it go. Days after, I was talking to my kids about this, and they said that they too don't feel valuable unless they tell me all the stuff they've been doing lately, and it better be good. Like they're like, "Oh, and it better have been productive," because it was like they were gonna have to answer to me. And I had no idea. I had no idea till this point that I actually had a standard for myself that was then also carrying over to a standard and expectation for my kids for the same thing. Just everybody in my life, like I had this kind of standard of productivity or like accomplishment based, a task oriented list. So that's why I've had a lifelong need to feel accomplished. I just kept working and I kept trying for it. And I just kept thinking I was going to arrive one day and I wasn't ever going to. That's why it feels lifelong. I was never giving it to myself. So if I have had a lifelong need to feel accomplishment, it means I almost never have sat in the place with being proud of myself for long enough. You guys, this blows my brain, and I'm determined to undo this false belief. It has taken redirecting my mind daily, sometimes, you know what, actually hourly, to redo. And I don't always catch it. It goes on for a while, sometimes before I remember. But when I do remember and it kind of hits me, I apologize to myself and I take a quick sec to just see if there are any recent things that I have accomplished that I didn't take time to acknowledge. Things that got done that weren't given enough like airtime in my brain. So they weren't even noticed by me. And I just sit and have a little celebration and be like, "Oh yeah, you were going to celebrate these things because you did do that. Look at what you did. You did this and this and this to get there." And I could list the whole process of how I did it, and then I feel like so great inside. Is to change the way you see finding your motivation. What you should know about celebrating and celebrating all the tiny things you do and acknowledging yourself is because this is the place you find your strongest rush of motivation. We all are like, I can't find my motivation. Where is my motivation? I want to find it. Where is it? I just don't have any motivation anymore. I don't know where it went. Did you hear what I said? Celebrating and acknowledging all the little things you've done is how you find it. It's a huge rush of motivation. When we celebrate ourselves, we show up in such a better way for everything we do. I'm describing to you right now where motivation is found. Are you guys hearing me? No more confusion about where motivation is because I literally just told you. Look how much more we have when we love more, when we have more positivity, or simply having less negativity. What could it do for you? Let's not diminish what we have done so far in our lives. Remember when the thing you are good at now used to be hard for you back when you first tried it? I'm not going to go way back to like walking and us falling over so many times. But how about the first time you drove a car? And now it's mindless. You just get in and go. In fact, we're like, wow, I don't even remember driving here. How about the first job you got? Was it just so stressful and crazy? Let's like all hoot and holler and celebrate what we've done so far because when we have our own approval and we celebrate it and acknowledge it to ourselves, it feels so amazing. And that, my friends, that amazing feeling is what motivates us to do so much more. It adds to our energy instead of depleting us. How often have you wondered where your motivation went? We can be both tough and scared. We can be both lazy and a go getter. So celebrate the human that you are because you are one of a kind. There is only one of you. Get a paper and get a pen or go to the notes in your phone and just start listing all the things you've done recently or all the things you've done in your lifetime that you've actually pulled through and done really well with because you survived 100% of everything you've done thus far and prove it to your brain. How can you get out of self loathing, self diminishing, and beating yourself up for falling short? By celebrating all your little wins all day long. Have your own back when you go through something hard. Maybe you half did something and you quit in the middle of it. You could go back, you could pick up wherever you left off and begin again with a personal celebration that will create your motivation for carrying you through finishing it. You guys, the greatest work that we need to do in our own minds is put an end to dismissing ourselves every day. The brain does this on automatic, so you must interrupt it at all cost. Set reminders, make it a morning routine or an evening practice. Start gathering all the evidences that it just isn't true, that you're not capable or unsuccessful or unaccomplished. Find all the reasons that is not true and celebrate you and acknowledge yourself. And help others once you've got it down. Get on a call with me if you're stuck and you need help and support getting through. Sign up at lifecoachalisa.com for a time to talk to me. And as always, if you thought of anyone while listening to this, please share it with them. The heavens often reach us through each other. I love you all. Have a very Merry Christmas, and I will talk to you next week.